Okay, so get this. We're talking about how moving your body can actually help you chill out, like really unwind.
Yeah, it's wild. We're basically figuring out how to hack our body's own relaxation system.
I am so here for this.
Yeah.
But where do we even begin?
It all starts with this thing called your autonomic nervous system. It's got two main modes.
Two modes. Like, what do you mean?
Okay, so picture this. Fight or flight. That's mode number one. It's that rush you get when you got to move, or like instant energy.
Right, right. I know that feeling.
And then there's rest and digest. That's mode number two. Your body's way of slowing down, recovering, just like full-on chill mode.
Okay, so obviously we want to be in chill mode more often. Less fight or flight, more rest and digest makes sense to me. But like, how do we actually make that happen?
That's where these resonating movements come in.
Resonating movements.
Yeah, think of it like this. Your body's covered in these little sensors, right? They're called mechanoreceptors. And when you do these specific movements, it's like hitting the on switch for those sensors.
Interesting. So like a massage for those sensors. I'm into it.
It's more than just a massage, though. They actually send signals to your brain, telling it to, like, relax, everything is fine.
Wait, seriously? Just from moving?
Yep. And get this, remember, fight or flight, these mechanoreceptors, they can actually, like, block pain signals.
Whoa, 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 back up. You're telling me these movements can help with pain too?
That's the gate control theory. It's kind of wild, but your nervous system, it's got a limited number of pathways for pain signals.
Huh.
And when you flood those pathways with, like, good vibes from the mechanoreceptors, it's like turning down the volume on pain.
Okay, that is seriously cool. Our bodies are amazing. But, hold on. What about magnets? Where do they fit into this whole thing?
Magnets are where things get extra interesting. You see, when you add in specifically oscillating magnetic fields, those mechanoreceptors we were talking about, they become even more sensitive.
So it's like we're supercharging our relaxation response.
Exactly. It's like giving your body the ultimate chill-out signal. And it all comes down to this cool scientific principle called Faraday's law of induction.
Faraday's law. Okay, you've lost me.
It's simpler than it sounds, I promise. Basically, these magnetic fields, they create like tiny electrical currents in your body.
Wait, hold on. Electricity in our bodies. Is that safe?
Totally safe, and it's actually really good for you. Think of it like little sparks that energize your cells, boost your blood flow, even help your nerves communicate better.
Wow. Okay. I'm starting to see the bigger picture here. But we can't forget about the other term we mentioned earlier, that piezoelectric effect. I'm not even going to pretend I know what that means.
Or it's not as complicated as it sounds. So collagen, right, the stuff that makes our skin all, springy and our bones strong.
Right.
Collagen is actually piezoelectric, which means when it's squeezed or stretched, it creates teeny tiny electrical charges.
So, like, we're basically talking piezo generators. That's kind of wild.
It is pretty incredible. And just like those magnetic currents we were talking about, those little bursts of electricity, they do wonders for you. They can affect your nerves, how fast you heal, even how well your lymphatic system is working.
Okay, so we've got resonating movements, creating microcurrents, magnets, boosting the whole shebang, and our bodies are basically little power plants.
Ah.
Got it. But I'm still curious, how do we actually feel more relaxed through all of this?
It all ties into how we hold tension, and it's not just our minds, it's our bodies too. That's where this whole thing becomes truly holistic.
Holistic, huh? Okay, so I'm thinking like meditation retreats, maybe some aromatherapy candles. Am I on the right track here?
Well, those are definitely relaxing, but in this case, we're talking about something a bit different. Think about it. When our bodies are holding tension, it's not just in our minds.
Yeah, totally. I carry my stress in my shoulders for sure.
Exactly. So these resonating movements, they can actually have a direct impact on things like, say, lymphatic drainage and blood circulation. Stuff we don't always think about when we're trying to unwind.
Okay, lymphatic drainage. I got to be honest, that one sounds kind of intense. What are we talking about here?
It's all connected.
Yeah.
And when your lymphatic system is running smoothly, it means less inflammation in your body, better detoxification. It all adds up to a more relaxed you.
So these movements are like what? Giving our lymphatic system a high five? I'm here for it.
Pretty much. Think of it as a gentle internal massage, helping things move along more efficiently.
Gotcha. That makes a lot of sense. What about blood circulation? How does that play into all of this?
Same idea. Those resonating movements, they get your blood flowing better too. It's like delivering a fresh supply of oxygen and nutrients to your cells, eases muscle tension, boosts energy levels, even helps your body heal faster.
Okay, so we're basically optimizing our bodies for like peak relaxation. I like the sound of that. But We got to talk about the mental side of things too, right? I mean, let's be real. Most of us are dealing with a ton of mental stress these days.
Absolutely. And that's where that whole mind-body connection comes in. One of the really cool things about these resonating movements is that they're, by their very nature, rhythmic, right? Repetitive.
Yeah.
And that can be incredibly soothing to your nervous system. Think about it. What did they do to calm you down when you were a baby?
Rocked me.
Exactly. It's kind of like that on a deeper level.
Oh, wow. It's almost meditative, isn't it?
It totally can be. You're focusing on the movements, you become more aware of your body, and that naturally quiets down those racing thoughts, helps you feel more grounded.
Right, like present in your body.
Exactly. And honestly, that's a huge part of finding that calmer, more peaceful state of mind.
So we're not just feeling better physically, we're actually like cultivating inner peace.
Yeah.
This just keeps getting better and better. But okay, you said something earlier that totally piqued my curiosity.
Yeah.
You were talking about like the bones in our heads
Right.
and the piezoelectric effect. I gotta be honest, that one kind of threw me for a loop.
Yeah, it's pretty wild stuff. You see, even the bones in our skulls have collagen,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So some researchers, they think that piezoelectric effect, those tiny electrical charges, might actually be influencing our brainwave activity.
Wait, really? Just from like moving our bodies?
That's the idea. It's still being explored, but imagine those subtle signals. Maybe they're promoting deeper states of relaxation, even influencing our mood.
Okay, that is next level stuff.
Yeah.
I love it. So it's like we're uncovering this whole hidden world inside of us, all these systems working together to help us find balance. It's pretty incredible when you think about it.
It really is. The more we learn about these connections, the more we realize how much potential our bodies have for like self-healing, well-being. It's all there.
Right. We just got to know how to tap into it.
Yeah.
So we've been talking about these resonating movements in a general sense, but give me some specifics. What are some ways people are actually using these techniques to like flip that switch from stressed out to chilled out in their everyday lives?
Well, there's actually a fascinating connection between specific movements in the neck and blood pressure.
Hold on, seriously. Just from moving our necks. Okay, tell me everything.
It all comes down to something called the baroreceptor reflex. So you have these awesome little sensors in your carotid arteries. Those are the big blood vessels in your neck.
Right.
And their job is to keep tabs on your blood pressure. They're like your body's own personal blood pressure monitors.
Okay, that makes sense. But how do resonating movements fit in?
So certain gentle movements in the neck, they can actually stimulate those baroreceptors. It's like sending a message to your brain to like, chill out, everything's cool.
No way. So it's like hitting the relax button for your whole cardiovascular system just from moving your neck a certain way.
Pretty much. It just goes to show you how interconnected our bodies are and how even the subtlest movements can have these huge ripple effects on our health and well-being.
Totally. Okay, this is all blowing my mind. Anything else? What about this vagus nerve I keep hearing about? How does that factor into all of this?
Ah, the vagus nerve. It's like the VIP of your parasympathetic nervous system. This nerve, it runs all the way from your brainstem down to your heart, your lungs, digestive system. It's everywhere.
Wow. Okay. And it's connected to resonating movements too, right?
Yeah, you bet. And when you stimulate your vagus nerve, it's like sending this wave of calm throughout your whole system.
Okay, I am definitely on board with some vagus nerve stimulation. How do we make that happen?
Well, for example, doing some gentle rocking or swaying motions, especially if they engage your diaphragm, your abdominal muscles, that can send those signals up through the vagus nerve, telling your body to just like relax, let go.
That sounds amazing. Okay, so we've got rocking and swaying. I'm adding those to my to-do list. Anything else?
Oh, and remember we were talking about that diving reflex earlier?
Vaguely. It rings a bell, but remind me.
It's that reflex that kicks in when you submerge your face in cold water, right? Heart rate slows down, your blood vessels constrict, your body starts conserving oxygen.
Right, right. That whole survival mechanism thing. So cool. But not really seeing the connection to, like, resonating movements.
Well, get this. Some researchers believe that certain oscillatory techniques, particularly those that involve, like, rhythmic pressure or even temperature changes around your face and sinuses, they might be able to tap into that diving reflex even without the cold water.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
So we could potentially activate this, like, ancient survival response to help us relax in our, totally not life or death modern world.
It's definitely an area of ongoing research, but the possibilities are pretty mind-blowing, right?
No kidding. This is incredible. We've covered so much ground today.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much power we have to influence our own well-being just by understanding how our bodies work.
I know, right? It's pretty remarkable.
This has been a seriously mind-blowing deep dive so far.
It has been fascinating, hasn't it?
Totally. But before we get too carried away, let's take a moment to recap all of this amazing info, really unpack what it means for us, in our everyday lives.
Yeah.
Okay, so big picture. What does all this actually mean for the average person who just wants to feel a little less stressed out?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway here is that you've got more power than you realize. You can actually manage your stress and find that sense of calm without having to rely on, external things. It's not just about meditation apps or bubble baths, although those are great, don't get me wrong. It's about tapping into what your body can already do.
I love that. It's like we have this whole inner toolkit for relaxation and we don't even realize it.
Exactly. And the best part, there's no right or wrong way to do it. Some people, they might connect with those gentle rocking movements. Others, maybe it's magnets or specific breathing exercises.
So it's about finding what works for you.
Exactly. It's all about tuning into your body, figuring out what feels good. It's a journey. And the more you pay attention to those cues, the better you get at finding those things that bring you back to that, balanced, peaceful state.
Man, this has been incredible. I've learned so much today, and I know our listener has too.
Me too. It's been such a great conversation.
It really has. But before we wrap up, got to leave our listener with something to think about. So we've been talking about how external stuff, like movements, magnets, can influence how we feel inside, right? But what about the other way around? What if our thoughts, our emotions, our beliefs, what if those could actually influence these incredible systems we've been talking about?
Whoa. That is a fascinating question. And honestly, it's something scientists are just starting to really dig into.
Right, because there's a name for that connection
Right.
between our minds and bodies. I feel like I've heard it before.
It's called psychoneuroimmunology. It's a mouthful.
Yeah, it is.
But basically, it's the study of how our thoughts, feelings, beliefs, all of that can actually have a physical impact on our nervous system, our immune system. It's all interconnected.
So it really is like the ultimate mind-body connection.
Exactly. And while there's still a ton we don't know, think about the possibilities here. Imagine harnessing the power of your mind to boost your immune system, to maybe even speed up healing, or even just to feel more at peace.
That's wild. It's like with every deep dive we do, we just uncover even more mysteries to explore.
That's the best part. There's always more to learn.
Couldn't agree more. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure diving into all of this with you today. And to our listener, thanks for coming along on this journey with us. Just remember, your body is capable of some pretty amazing things. You just got to know how to listen.